You ever have one of those days where you come home early thinking you're a beau? Because that's what happened to me. One second I'm pulling up to our family cabin, suitcase in hand, ready to give my 8-year-old daughter the kind of happy memory she'd carry forever. The next I'm being told to get, and the person saying it, the HOA president, clipboard in hand, screaming like she'd caught me crawling out a window with neighbors were already rubbernecking from their porches. Before I could even set my bag down, she's on 911 yelling into the phone that I'm a security threat. I swear the way she... Then a police cruiser comes barreling down the road, tires squealing. She steps in front of the officer, points stray. But before that officer could even touch his cuffs, the cabin door opened. And the man who stepped out, he froze the... We'll get to... It started that morning. I'd wrapped up a business trip in Denver earlier than expected. My daughter Sophia had been having nightmares about her great-grandfather who passed just 6 months ago. She kept tossing in the hotel bed, mumbling in her sleep. So I thought, what if we go back to the cabin a day early? The place her great-granddad built. We drove up to Pine Ridge, Colorado, the mountains wearing that late autumn chill that smells like pine and wood smoke. And I swear the second I stepped out of the car, suitcase still in hand, I could feel eyes on me. She came marching up the driveway like a storm cloud. Late 40s, perfect blonde hair unmoved by the wind, white blouse starched so crisp it could cut glass. Name tag, Veronica Peton, HOA president. Clipboard clutched like it held launch codes. This property, she announced, has been seized by the Pine Ridge HOA for delinquent landscaping fees. We have a buyer putting down a substantial deposit today. You're trespassing. Sophia was still asleep in the back seat, little head against the window, clutching her mother's old teddy bear. I stepped between Veronica and the car. Ma'am, there's been a mistake. This cabin's been in my family for 30 years. My grandfather left it to me. I've got the deed taxes, all of it. She didn't even glance at the documents on my phone. That's when Sophia woke up, rubbing her eyes. She walked over, slipped her small hand into mine, and asked Daddy, why is the mean lady yelling? Why does she want to take Grandpa's house? Veronica glanced at her, and instead of softening, she frowned. Little girl, put the stuffed animal away. This is a business matter. Something in my gut told me this wasn't just an overzealous HOA president. She was dangerous. Then she pulled out her phone and called 911, her voice loud enough for the whole block. We have an unstable military veteran refusing to leave property owned by our HOA. He's agitated, has a child with him. I'm concerned for our safety. Every word a lie, perfectly rehearsed. Sirens in the distance. My stomach nodded. Sophia squeezed my hand and whispered, "The mean lady's lying, Daddy." Mommy always said liars are scared of something. And she was right. When the cruiser pulled up, Officer Rita Gonzalez stepped out, eyes tired but cautious. Before she could speak, a black sedan parked behind her and a woman in a dark suit strode over flashing a badge. "Detective Sarah Chin," she said. "I've been investigating irregular HOA property transfers in this area. This address came up." That's when Veronica's shoulders stiffened. From across the street, a guy with a camera, Jake Morrison, was live streaming. Folks were watching an HOA president harass a veteran and his kid, he told his viewers. This is what abuse of power looks like. Then another man appeared, pale, sweating, holding a manila folder. "Veronica," he said quietly, "I can't do this anymore. What we've been doing to these families isn't right." He turned to the detective. "I've been keeping records. It's not legal." Veronica's mask slipped. Her voice went venomous. "You know what happens to people who cross me." And that's when the cabin door opened. Heavy footsteps. Sunlight caught silver hairs. A tall man in his late 60s stepped out. My daughter's face lit up. "Grandpa Judge," she cried, running into his arms. Judge Theodore Teddy Blackstone, my father. A man whose name carried weight in every courtroom in Colorado. He kissed Sophia's forehead, then looked at Veronica like he was delivering a verdict. "Mrs. Peton, I've been investigating your HOA for months. Attempted bribes, forged documents, and now, targeting my son and granddaughter. You've made a grave mistake." Detective Chen's eyes widened. "Judge, this is perfect timing. We've been tracking a pattern of fraudulent HOA seizures. This property is part of it." My dad nodded, then produced a digital recorder. 4 hours of conversations from concerned citizens, all legal, including you, Mrs. Peton, explaining how you target widows, elderly residents, military families, anyone least able to fight back. An elderly neighbor, Mildred Kowalski, stepped forward. I made those recordings, she said proudly, ever since you started circling Ethan's grandfather like a vulture. Sophia tugged my sleeve. Daddy, if the mean lady takes our house, where will we put Mommy's pictures? That hit like a punch to the chest. Those walls held 3 generations of photos our family's heartbeat. The judge's voice hardened. These tapes prove you pressured grieving families into selling manufactured fake violations and even discussed waiting for my father-in-law to be incapacitated before making your move. Veronica's skin went gray. But before she could speak, Detective Chen set up a tablet. We all watched footage from hidden cameras in the HOA office. Veronica plotting with local officials describing how to create fake code violations, levy made-up fees, and force immediate action. Officer Gonzalez got a radio call. The state attorney general was linking this to similar schemes in 6 counties. Jake's livestream had thousands watching. And the final clip made my stomach turn. Veronica on the phone describing my family as perfect for acquisition. Tracking my business trips, waiting for the right moment. Sophia whispered, Daddy, has the mean lady been watching us? Detective Chen pulled out her cuffs. Mrs. Peton, you're under arrest for fraud, elder abuse, extortion, and racketeering. That's when black SUVs rolled up FBI agents and windbreakers pouring out. Special Agent Rebecca Walsh stepped forward. We've been tracking a multi-state property fraud ring. This operation is a major hub. Instead of folding, Veronica lunged toward Sophia. If you arrest me, this child loses her home forever. Time froze. Then Sophia did something I'll never forget. She pulled a folded letter from her pocket, one her great-grandfather had written. My dearest Sophia, this house will always be yours. Homes are made of love and memories. Nobody can take that away. She looked Veronica in the eye. Did anyone ever love you that much? For a second, Veronica faltered. Then she snarled, Sentimental letters don't override legal documents. Agent Walsh's voice cut through. Step away from the child. You're adding kidnapping to your charges in front of cameras and federal agents. But Veronica's voice cracked. I lost everything once. You don't know what it's like. Sometimes you have to take what you need. Sophia shook her head. When bad things happen, you can choose to be sad or mean. You chose mean. That landed like a gavel strike. My father stepped forward. Mrs. Peton, your grief doesn't excuse predatory behavior. It ends now. But Veronica still had one play. She dialed a number. The judge knows. The FBI's here. I need extraction. Before anyone could react, Mildred crossed her yard, holding up a flip phone. I've recorded you admitting to causing stress-related deaths of 2 elderly residents. The crowd gasped. Walsh's tone sharpened. Are you saying you have homicide evidence? That and photos of you with a casino developer who promised you $1 million commission if you cleared this neighborhood. It all clicked. She wasn't just flipping houses. She was clearing land for a resort. Sophia stepped forward. You can't scare us anymore. Grandpa Judge is here, the FBI is here, and Mrs. Mildred has proof. Whatever fight was left drained out of Veronica. Detective Chen cuffed her. Gonzalez called for more units. Jake's viewer count passed 10,000, as Veronica was led away, still muttering about lawyers and rights. Sophia tugged my sleeve. Daddy, is our house safe now? Yes, I said. She grinned, clapped her hands, and announced to the neighborhood bad lady, go bye-bye. That night, the cabin was quiet again. My dad sipped coffee by the fire. Sophia was asleep upstairs, teddy bear tucked under her arm. I stood on the porch looking at the dark silhouette of the mountains. We'd faced something ugly that day, the kind of corruption that hides in plain sight until it tries to take what you love. And we'd won. Not because of laws or titles, but because people stood together. A neighbor with courage, a detective who cared, a federal agent who acted, a grandfather who wouldn't back down, and a little girl who believed that promises matter. You tell me, should people like Veronica face harsher penalties? Should targeting grieving families be treated like the serious crime it is? Drop your thoughts below. Because in the end, justice isn't just about courtrooms, it's about communities deciding what they'll stand for and what they'll never let happen again.